Hello and welcome to the Philippines. About 8 years ago, 7, 8 years ago, I did a video about dental costs and my experience here in the Philippines, Cebu City to be specific. And so it's been a while, and it's one of the questions I get quite regularly. Can I recommend a dentist in the city? And a little bit about that. So anyway, I'm going to give you some information about a dental clinic that I used. I think they've got 4 or 5 offices here in the Cebu area, and tell you a little bit about my experience as well as the costs. And I'll put up a cost sheet here a little bit later. I had actually planned to go to a dentist back in about February of 2020. And then, of course, in March 2020, we had the lockdowns, and I'd start doing some research on dentists. And I wanted to find a dentist who was pretty much full service, could handle anything and everything that I would need. Now, some of you have, and I have, recommended Green Apple Dental Clinic, which is in Ayala, down on I think, the lower level of Ayala Mall here in Cebu City, to a number of people. I've had a couple of friends that have gone there, and they recommend it. I did not go there, and one of my friends, they couldn't do everything for him. They sent him to another clinic. But anyway, I was recommended this new clinic. Went, and they were full service. Were able to take care of everything. And unfortunately, over these last 3 years, the condition that I had originally wanted to see a dentist about has gotten worse and worse. So fortunately, they were able to take care of that. An interesting point, unlike all of my experiences in the USA in several different states that I lived in, where as soon as you walk into the doctor's office, first thing they want to do, this has been my experience, is take x-rays, either partial or full mouth x-rays. And my experience in the Philippines, 3 different dentists, has been that they have not taken x-rays unless they absolutely needed to. And one was, I believe it was a root canal, and they wanted to take an x-ray after, but that was after they diagnosed. And we talked about it. It wasn't right away you walk in and, okay, we're going to take x-rays type thing. So that's an interesting difference. Another interesting part of my experience is that they asked my girlfriend to come in and can translate. I've been to a lot of dentists over the years, and I've got a lot of questions. I want to make sure that we communicate and we're doing, and I understand the costs and the procedures and all that type of thing. I probably ask a lot more questions than most people who just go in, okay, just tell them do whatever you need to do, and tell me how much it's going to cost. But I have a lot of questions, and although the dentists at this clinic spoke pretty good English, there were a few times where they asked my girlfriend, "Can you?" And they spoke in Bisaya. "Can you explain to Sir uh, this and this and this?" And still, I would have to, you know, something is always lost in translation, unfortunately. And I would have to try to clarify my question, and they would try to clarify their answer. Anyway, in the end, it was all good, and we were able to get done what we had to get done. Sometimes the terminology that you and I would use might be different than what they would use also. And that became a little bit of an issue, even talking with my girlfriend at home about what do you call a filling? They call it something else oftentimes. So just little things like that, technical meanings. Now, if you're just going in for one procedure, probably not going to be that complicated, but I had options, and we were trying to discuss the options. I had a pretty bad cavity, and the discussion was, do we want to try to save that tooth, or are we going to pull it out? And after going back and forth with the discussion, what are my options? Decided to extract the tooth, and in the end, it ended up being over the last 3 years, that cavity with the lockdowns, no dentists open, That cavity had gotten worse and worse and worse, and it turned out even my tooth was quite brittle. It broke off, and they had to work extra hard to get that thing out of there. It had real deep root, and took some extra Novocaine or whatever they use here to deaden the pain these days. But once I told them, yeah, I'm starting to feel the pain, as they dug deeper and deeper, they gave me, I think, 3 more shots of Novocaine, and I never felt another thing. And they were able to extract the whole root out of there, which is important. You do not want to leave uh, the root in. There can be some medical issues if you do that, health issues, and you can research that if you want. I'm going to show you the price list and it was nice. They had it posted right there on the front counter. The price list. I'm going to take you over to their website, and they've got some prices there as well. There are some things that will vary in prices, like surgery. If you need more complicated surgery, there's variation. Different types and materials of dentures have different prices. I asked him if they had many foreign customers, and he said, yeah, they have a few, and it's usually about dentures. So they even have some prices for different types of dentures, and we'll get into that information. I did not see information about implants. Some people asked me about that, and that really varies by person. They really need to do an X-ray and check you out and talk to you about there's varying qualities and types of implants, and whether you're going to be, whether your mouth will accept them or reject them. There's a lot of information about that, so I'm not going to get into implants here, but let's get into the pricing here. Also keep in mind that every dentist office is not going to be the same, so these were pretty good prices, I think, and some places will charge less, some places will charge more. And anyway, this was the price list they had sitting on their front counter. Oral prophylaxis, which is cleaning, 800 to 1,000. Restoration tooth filling, 800 to 1,000. This is pesos, not dollars. So 1,000 pesos is about 20 US dollars, for instance. But that's at 50 pesos to the US dollar. Presently, the exchange rate is 56, so it would be less than $20. Simple extraction, that's what I had. 800 pesos to 1,000 pesos. They charged me 1,000 pesos, even though it was, well, it wasn't really surgery, but it took them quite a while, and to get that out, I thought they might charge me more than that. Surgery impacted, I guess that would be what, where you've got a tooth impacted up against another one. 8,000 pesos. Braces, 60,000. And then in parentheses, 15,000. Down payment, perhaps. I think probably stands for down payment. Ortho adjustment, 2,500 a month up and down. And then 1,250 month up and down, month up and down only. So one or the other, I guess. Braces removal, 2,500 up and down. And go down here to root canal therapy, 5,000 per canal. I think I paid 8,000, gosh, 7 years ago, something like that. Anterior, and then premolar, 10,000, and molar, 15,000 to 20,000. Dowel with buildup. I'm not quite sure what all that is, but you can read through that if you want. Starts at 3,000, and plastic is 2,500 to 7,000. So there's a range there on several of these. Um, Realign down further, 1,000. Temporary crown, 1,000. And I don't know what the rest of this stuff is. You can read through that if you knows what it is. The bottom one there, plastic crown, 3,000 per tooth. And then we get down to the dentures, which some of you are interested in. 1 to 2 teeth, and then depends upon the material they use. Acrylic, which is plastic, porcelain from China, or porcelain natural over on the right hand side. And well, let's just go for instance, 1 to 2 teeth, 2,500 to what's 5,300 to 8,500. Is that 8 or 5? On my screen, it's a little bit small to read there. Anyway, a full mouth for acrylic plastic denture, 78 teeth, 10,000 full denture. And over on the porcelain natural, over on the right hand side, 12,000 pesos for full denture, which would be about $215 US at the present exchange rate, or at 50 pesos to the US dollar, about $240 for that. So pretty reasonable, I would say. And jumping over to their Facebook page, and like I said, there's more information here. But you can book now, you can message them, and that's probably the preferred way to do it. They've got one address here, but as we go down here, this first area here, it gives their offices, gives their time, 9 to 4 p.m. except Sunday, strictly by appointment. And let's go down here. Inquiries are made from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. only. Anyway, they've got Cebu City, Goronas Building, Osmeña Boulevard, in Lapu-Lapu, Basak, Gaisano Savers Mart, Lapu-Lapu, across from Mactan Doctors Hospital, Velez Medical Arts Building, it's actually just down the street from me, Escario, this is the one I went to, Vibo Place, up on Escario Street, and Talisay City, south of Cebu City, just a little ways, in the Star Mall, across near the Star Mall. And so that might be the easiest ways to go to their Facebook page there. So I hope that helps some of you out, and like I said, many of you probably with the lockdowns might be in the same condition I was. You had to put off a lot of those important trips to the dentist. Anyway, looking forward to your comments about your experiences, any other information you have about your experiences here in the Philippines or elsewhere. Anyway, take care, and we'll see you next time.